Hello, beautiful souls. Rare and special event. Like a super rare unicorn sighting, Sky is teaching some of the foundational Theta Healing certification courses online. It is one blazing rainbow of a portal opening up for a life-changing experience, all from the comfort of your own home. If you're interested in joining me, learning from my years of service to this international community, it's time to make your dreams come true and share with you one of the most powerful tools used to bring us into alignment, direct connection to the highest vibration of all that is, to ramp up your manifestation skills, all while creating impeccable discernment and empowering you with a map to the universe and beyond that will serve you the rest of this life and throughout lifetimes to come. If you're ready to step in, this is your time. If you're ready to clear your limiting beliefs and trauma that you haven't been able to get rid of this whole lifetime, pain or suffering, and general overall cosmic crap that you may think has been serving you, and move forward to be the most epic, brilliant, sparkly representation of self on this earth in a human body, this is one of the most potent steps I've discovered over the last almost 2 decades throughout all my travels, hanging out with all these healers all over the world that can help you get that for yourself. Taking these foundational certification courses with me after I've helped write and create these very foundational courses of Theta Healing that have made it internationally renowned and traveled around the world with the founder Vianna Stibal and her husband Guy is a unique, powerful transmission, a download in itself that you don't want to miss. Plus, I'm effing magical. After all, cell does talk to cell, and light travels faster than the speed of light, and light just is. For more details and how to register for upcoming courses, go to www.skyislimitless.com. Go to the Work with Sky section, and then you'll see all about Theta Healing certification. That's www.skyislimitless.com. Or you can just go to the show notes and click on the link there.
Welcome to Leading with Light, a wellspring for the transformational leader that you were born to be, where you can fill up and align, gather and be inspired, and bring your vision to light. Guiding you towards your divine connection and limitless possibilities, here is your host, Visionary Leader Extraordinaire, Sky Ahern. Poof.
Hello, transformational leaders. Welcome to this Love and Light Fest, your sweet spot for stepping up and getting your shine on. I'm your host, Sky Ahern, and you are listening to Leading with Light. Today's guest is Kelley Hunter, Ph.D. Kelley Hunter, Ph.D., longtime astrologer, mythologist, author, and speaker, brings her rich wisdom of psychology, cosmology, holistic healing, unified field physics, and spirituality into unique focus on the cosmic feminine. Kelley is the Director of Helia Productions, where she co-creates experiential events for personal and planetary awakening, diving into the creative process, storytelling, and stargazing. You can learn more about Kelley and sign up for her cosmic astrological newsletter at www.heliastar.com. That's HELIA star.com. Welcome to the show, Kelley.
Oh, Sky, it's so good to be here with you. A new season, a new time with Sky.
Woohoo! It's starting to get to be spring.
Yay, yay. We are so ready for a change of season, aren't we?
We are, and I can't wait to hear what you have to share with us about the spring equinox all the way to summer solstice. That's going to be pretty exciting.
It definitely is. Probably the most exciting time of the year.
Oh, excellent. Well, let's pray so we can get right down to it. So if you are doing something and you need to pull over the side of the road or just put things down, find a little quiet spot, and we're just going to pray really quickly. We're going to walk you through this little meditation, pop you up that 7th plane, that highest vibration of all that is, that sparkly white light, the energy of creation, that sparkly stuff that you are and that you get to create with through all time and space in between time. Let's do this. So take a few seconds and get ready. Centering yourself in your heart. Take a big deep breath in and breathe it down all the way to the front of your body. And on your next inhale, breathe that energy of creation all the way up into your body. And when you're ready, you're going to take the next deep breath in, breathing up that highest vibration of all that is, unconditional love, all the way up through the earth, blessing this Mama Earth that we are living on, all the way up through the soles of your feet, breathing that energy up into your legs, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your torso, all the way up the back of your spine, your shoulders. It's kind of like this really great cosmic massage, tingly energy, filling you up with the highest vibration of all that is, all the way down to your shoulders and your arms and your hands, and then again up, all the way up to your neck and your head, coming up out of your space in a beautiful ball of light. Just going up higher and higher, about 67 feet, up past the tallest tree that you know of, past the clouds, the Earth's atmosphere, even higher into the stars, past the planets. Wave goodbye to Pluto with his little heart on it, all the way up to the universe and past the multiverse, into these dark lights, and then some white lights, different colored lights, and up through this thick jelly-like substance, the laws of the universe. You're going to find that pink cotton candy-like energy, the law of compassion, and feel that energy as you step into it. Feel that compassion for yourself, for having chosen to be a human at this time on this planet. Going deeper into this energy, you'll see this window of sparkly iridescent white light. And as soon as you step into it, it just goes poof. And all around you is this sparkly energy of creation. If you were to spin around in a circle, you could feel it just going through your fingertips. Kind of like water, but not like infinite, tingly potential, giggly energy of creation. And see yourself there in your beautiful ball of light. And from here, we're going to pray. We're going to say, Mother, Father, God, creator of all that is, thank you for my life, and thank you for the life of Kelley Hunter. Thank you for the life of this beautiful listener and all the other listeners of Leading with Light. Be with us today as we explore the energy that is a part of all that we are. Be with us as we share our gifts and our wonder and our excitement. Thank you, Creator. Be with us in the highest and best way. Aho.
Aho. Oh, that's such a good way to start. I love feeling uplifted into the celestial spheres and beyond. That's great.
A little sparkly white light to guide us on through. So what do you know about what's going on, Kelley?
Well, I'm not sure what I know, but this is what I'm seeing, through the, kind of planetary field and the interactions of what's going on and the rhythms of the earth and the cycle of the seasons that we observe on Leading with Light, you and me here.
Woohoo!
Thank you so much. So, we're looking at March equinox, which is March 20th, to June solstice, which is June 20th. So we're looking at the season. And this particular season in astrology is the refresh of the whole zodiac. It's a kind of, astrological new year, we could say. So, we kind of really look at it that way. And just to start with the context of the whole year of 2021, the big thing going on, if we're going to just put it down to one planetary dynamic, is a very interesting, challenging, but motivational activation between the planet Saturn, that's about our experiential reality, how things are working through us in our lives, and the planet Uranus, which is the change agent, the revolutionary, the disruptor, the awakener. And those two planets represent Saturn is like the status quo. It's in Aquarius, which is a new place for Saturn to be this year and for the next 2.5 years. And it's about our conceptual way of understanding what life is about, how we think about it, how we conceptualize it. And Saturn tends to have a kind of definition of things. So we've got that definition. And Uranus is over there the disruptor, the awakener, the planet that rotates on its side in the most oddball way. And it's in the sign of Taurus, which is earth and embodiment and feeling the way the earth supports us and filling every space in our body with this celestial light and with air, with breath. We need to breathe in through our whole body. And that's what Saturn is providing, as much air as we can take in. We don't want to limit that because we want to inhabit every cell of our body. And that's what we may not have been doing because we're big thinkers. You know, we don't always ground in and listen to our body and feel our strength and feel the strength the earth gives us when we're pulling that energy up to our feet.
That's a really great point, because I watch people not breathe all the time, especially when they get a little anxious and worried and stressed. I can feel them when I'm working with them. It's like, oh, take a big deep breath in. Keep your breath moving.
Yes. Yes, and the deeper we can bring our breath into the body, it can change what we might be interpreting as anxiety, which a lot of people are feeling. But if we breathe deeper, if we take the Aquarian energy that's available to us in a completely new way this year and bring it into our bodies and deepen into our bodies, that anxiety turns into excitement.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, anxiety and excitement are on the same kind of, receptor sites or something? They're very similar.
Very similar, like two sides of the same coin.
I love that. So if we breathe deeper into our body, feel our connection to the earth, then we can change that anxiety into excitement.
Yes. And that's where we want to be.
When I do that prayer, I like to play around with a few extra breaths before we go up to the seventh plane sometimes. I like to imagine breathing up that energy from the core of the earth, of the sparkly white light, that energy of creation that creates all things, including the earth, and then hold it at the top of our heads, and then breathe it down the front of our bodies with a ha or a shh, utilizing our diaphragms to get that energy out of our bodies, and then using it almost like a filter to filter out any worrying, stress, and fear. So breathing in the love and out the goo.
Yeah. And
like
it's good
5
to use the voice.
Circular breaths, and boy, you can change up anything.
Yes. Using the voice is very Taurus, because Taurus rules the throat and rules the voice. So using the voice, with the breathing out, this could, we could add in some toning, we could add in some sound to create a vibration in our bodies as well, and feel that energy, vibrating. This is a good exercise to remember for the whole of this year, because there are 3 times that we have Saturn interacting in a challenging way to help break through some of the old patterns, some of the old tendency to stay in our heads, and to, feel the joy and thrill of being on Earth at this time.
That reminds me, I'm so glad that you said that about the tone. I was just teaching, it's called Rhythm to Finding a Perfect Weight, and Advanced Theta Healing classes. And in both of those classes, we have an exercise that is called the heart song. And we make ourselves super, super tiny, go into our heart, and we listen for the tone of our heart, and then we sing it.
Oh.
And it is so amazing. I've watched this heal people all around the world. And what we've noticed is that so many humans are carrying the stress and the trauma of witnessing what we've done on this earth for eons in our hearts, because we come here, we want to make a difference. And so part of it is in the heart, so we remember to make a difference. But the point that we've found out is that we don't have to hold it in our hearts and hold the, maybe past failures of not being able to make a difference, but that this time we get to make that difference. And we have them sing whatever tone it is, we follow it out of the body. And it may take quite a long time, but it's so powerful. In fact, it healed my friend, the founder of Theta Healing, Vianna Stibal, from congestive heart failure, which often you don't heal from. But just getting that tone out of your body, not a stressful, moaning or groaning, but a tone. And so it may go, like eventually, but you got to listen. And what a carrier of trauma and stress and fear and old stuff that sound can be.
Yes. Yes, it's like we are tuning forks, and we can tune our own bodies with our own voice. I've been taking a voice lessons, and she has me using my body, my full body, as the instrument, and is showing me different ways of working with my body to allow the sound to come out more smoothly through my throat. It's absolutely fantastic, and I'm finding it to be a very powerful thing, that instrument of the body and the voice.
It truly is. That's exciting that you're doing that.
Yeah, that feels very powerful and appropriate, at this time when we're all needing to tune up our bodies in some way or other.
It's so funny that you're saying that also, because when we teach people some medical intuitive work, working with the body, we teach them that the cells sing.
Oh, lovely.
The cells sing, yes. And then so each organ has its own tone, and it actually, the whole body, when it's healthy and in alignment, it harmonizes. And so if a certain organ is working harder than another organ, it can be out of tune. And so it takes the whole tune of the body off. And so we teach people how to go into the body and to listen to those different cells. And so sometimes you can actually sing that cell or those organs into alignment.
Yeah, in astrology, different planets rule different organs and different systems in the body.
Right.
So, yeah, this is all cool, huh?
Yes, so cool.
This is the like overview, let us say, with this dynamic between Saturn and Uranus that allows us to break free of limitations from the past. We are being offered an opportunity to break through some old fears and experience new dimensions of our own being in relation to, kind of the times and the awakening that's going on through these waves of light that are coming into our system, our solar system, but also our body systems. So that's a big deal for the year. And then, we're going to come back to this season, and we're going to start with the spring equinox on March 20th. Now, I'm going to also look at some notable days so you can put them in your calendar. And of course, the March equinox is going to be one of these notable days. And the equinox this year is right in between a new moon and a full moon. So it is a beautiful day when the sun goes into Aries. And also this year, the planet Venus is entering Aries on the same day. And it so happens that the sun and Venus are traveling together really closely, as Venus is on the other side of the sun, and we can't see Venus. It's too close to the sun. So Venus and the sun together going into the sign of Aries. And this would be, the 0 into 1 degree of Aries, the very first day. And there's an image that goes with this. These Sabian symbols hold images for every degree of the zodiac. And this image is, and this is spring equinox every year, but because Venus is there as well, I think it's more meaningful. A woman rises from the sea, embraced by a seal. So there's this arising from the Sea of Pisces into the clarity of the Aries light. But the seal is still there, that watery part of our beings that is part of our magic of shape-shifting and transformation and clarifying. So we've got that. And the other thing that's really powerful about this particular solstice has to do with the planet Mars, the action planet. And Mars just went in to Gemini on March 4th. And by solstice, it was in a very positive alignment with Saturn. So this is a very strong thing in terms of recognizing that we have options in how we can approach things and be doing things. There are many different facets to the crystal. There are many different options that are coming up. We don't have to be fixed in a particular one. Saturn in Aquarius wants to go into like alternate dimensions and work them into reality. And Mars in Gemini says there's so many different ways of going about that. It's also creating a lot of conversations with, different points of view and different, kind of the social dialogue can also be changing because of new information or new people you're talking to or new insights that you've had. And so that's another very strong tone of the equinox this year. And then a week later, we have March 28th, which is number one, it's Palm Sunday. But number two, it's a full moon, the full moon in Libra with the sun in Aries and the moon in Libra. And this full moon then is a Libra full moon, but there is a strong number of planets in the sign of Aries, including Venus and the sun, still together in the very same degree of the zodiac. And since this is a full moon, the moon is reflecting the fresh energy of the sun and Venus together. And Chiron, the shaman, the quantum shift energy, the teacher healer energy is right with Venus and the sun at the very same degree. And this is 9 degrees Aries. And this degree, the image for this is a crystal gazer. So we're gazing into the crystal to tune into the best possibilities that we can entertain. What would give us the most joy of all? And this is a fresh arising. It's healing the Venus energy so we are able to experience more joy, more beauty, more aesthetics. This is the way to go. This is the healing. Look for that joy. Look for the best vibe. Look, have fun and joy. So that's on an emotional level.
I'm looking at the cosmic Mayan calendar that Stargazer Lee does, and it's a 13 seed day. So 13's going into freedom. It's the end of that 13-day cycle, going into freedom. Ooh. With the white refining realm. So it's really pure. And then you got this new possibility of the seed breaking through the earth. And it's in the moon of realization. So it's all becoming real.
Well, there's a lot of realization on a full moon because it's the blossoming of the moon cycle. Mm-hmm. There is we recognize something that has been arising and now it's fully bloomed. And this is this fresh start. This is like an extraordinary one because Chiron is like a quantum factor. It wants to align the spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical. And it can feel like, wow, this just happened. It's like, wow, joy to the world. I've been singing that in the shower lately.
Yeah, good. Well, the next day after that 13 seed human day is a whole 13-day cycle of serpent wave. So we're like letting everything go. It's starting to sprout a new way of being human on this earth. And then the next 13 days, we go into the shedding of the old skin with a string of 10 portal days.
Oh, I love that. Portal days are great.
This serpent wave is starting to approach the middle of the Tzolk'in calendar. And so that new beginning and that new possibility and that fresh crystal gazing energy is really unfolding here. And then we're switching from a white realm into a blue realm. So that's going from refining into deepening of transformation. So,
well, that kind of goes along with, moving into April when a lot of the energy moves from Aries into Taurus, which is more grounding, more, kind of earthing the new energy. it's a very personal thing, but I think there are also going to be some developments in whatever is going on globally as well. But this quantum is an individual experience at the moment. A quantum is the smallest amount of physicality that can exist on its own. So it's all of those sparkles
like a little quark
in. Yeah.
The quarks, right? This is the smallest unit of energy.
That's
quark.
Good. Yes. And if we breathe it deep enough, they're all going to sparkle.
Okay.
And the Venus is the inviting energy. It's the inviting energy. It's the emotional tone that invites in experience. And we want harmony and beauty and this freshness, this clarity.
Love it.
So then we move into April, and we have a new moon on the 11th of April. And this would be then a new moon in Aries. And Venus is still really close by, and Mercury is close by, and Ceres, the Earth goddess, is close by. So there's a lot of, Aries energy with this fresh start still going. And that's the new moon on April 11th. And then we are going to have a string of what I'm going to call notable days that happen. One of them is April 17th, and that's Mars, the action planet, in a very positive alignment with Jupiter that's ready to act on emerging possibilities and opportunities. And this is good for the whole social collective energy. We want to give it a day before or a couple of days before anyway, because it's not just that day, but that's the peak day. And then also during the month, we have different planets moving into Taurus, and that includes Venus on April 14th. And Venus rules Taurus, so that's going to be very strong and, again, emphasize the Earth energy. So that's on April 14th. On April 19th, Mercury is moving into Taurus the same day as the Sun. So we're really moving into an awareness of Earth energy in a very powerful way. And we have then the 14th, the 19th, that 17th is right in the middle. And then we have several days when Venus is going to line up with Uranus. Mercury is going to line up with Uranus. And the Sun is going to line up with Uranus like, whoa, hold on, roller coaster ride. And that is April 21st to the 25th. That's the Venus and Mercury. And then the Sun on April 30th. There's a full moon in April on the 26th of April. So that's going to be the Sun in Taurus with the moon in Scorpio. And the thing about this full moon is that Uranus is right on the Sun of the full moon. So this is a very transformational energy. This is right in those days I was mentioning where April, especially the 21st through the 30th, a lot of visitations to the planet Uranus, and that includes the full moon being conjunct and the full moon in Scorpio then suggesting how do we use the energy to transform? More about that shedding of the skin of the snake, as you were mentioning. Here's Taurus, here's what's happening. We're not doing that anymore. Let go, let go, let go. So that last week or 10 days of April is going to be very interesting for our experience and Earth energy.
That's so funny because like in this monkey wave that's happening, and it's a blue realm and it's a blue monkey wave, and the blue is the deepening transformation. So it's all transformation. And it's
very
in the moon.
Strong.
And it's in the moon of manifestation. So it's just all popping.
Taurus is manifestation.
Wow.
We don't miss it. That's happening. So that's the full moon in April on the 26th with that last 10 days of extraordinary. Who would ever have thought Uranus, what's going on now? I wake up and the day completely, kind of goes into some into something different than we expected. And that's the beauty of Uranus. It's really changing how we're living our lives in ways we would not expect. And we're going to go with a positive vibe here.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Keep a positive vibe. That's the most important work you have to do.
I'm kind of laughing about this, taking you in a totally different direction, because I'm like, how long has this been happening? Because last year, I totally fell in love with chickens and poodles, two things that I thought I would never fall in love with. And it's like the best pandemic distraction and project in the land. And so I'm just thinking, I woke up and I'm like all of a sudden into chickens and all of a sudden into like poodles. So I'm like, this has been happening for a good year almost.
Yeah, well, Uranus has been active in Taurus, especially full on since March of 2019.
Yep.
And
okay,
it's
then.
In Taurus until like it starts moving in the summer of 2025. So we've got a ways to go with Uranus and Taurus yet. And to really let the earth aliveness, the consciousness of the earth itself inform us and educate us. Now, Uranus can be disruptive. It can be a bit stormy. It's unexpected. And this is where we want to keep breathing in the energy so we feel so grounded in the earth that we're moving and dancing with the changes going on in the earth.
Well,
so
we better, because that's just right smack dab, right in the middle of the Zolkin calendar, that 260-day cycle, but we're starting that monkey wave. So if you don't play and dance and move around and be playful with that little monkey energy, it's bound to play tricks on you.
How long does that monkey energy go?
It goes for 13 days, so it's going to be starting on the 24th to May 6th.
Okay.
So I would definitely put bananas out on your altar, and then also put yourself in a great mood and just play, go on a road trip, discover and dance and have a good time. Because if you're not, that energy can like be a little tricky. It's like the trickster energy, right?
Yes, and Uranus can be a trickster too.
Yeah.
And, with Venus and Mercury and the Sun all there, that last part of April, this is like enjoy. We're here on Earth. Okay, it's a pretty intense time, but hey, if you're here, you got a golden ticket because you have something to offer. And since it is time to start becoming more aware, and I think that full moon on March 28th is a fresh awareness of self and what it is we have to offer, which at least can be our joy in life. Let's do that joy to the world thing. And so Taurus is more practical, more like it's hands-on. It's food, shelter, clothing, it's resources, it's use them well, it's appreciate what you have. You don't need more than you need, but appreciate the beauty, appreciate what the world offers, nature's beauty. And I think nature is also going to be coming up with some pretty interesting phenomena to wake us up in one way or another.
She's been doing that.
That full moon on March 28th is the arising of some freshness that then we dig more, plant more into the ground when we get into April.
Oh, that's so awesome. Our farm is up and running. We're selling eggs and getting roosters and planting lots of things for the spring. It sounds like a good time to be doing some gardening and little farm stand.
Absolutely. Taurus is a very productive sign. So whatever you're producing and helping the earth produce more of what she is capable of as well in terms of, for our health and our wellness and for beauty, flowers, put some flowers in there.
Oh, yeah, we got flowers. Woo-hoo.
So May, as you said, it goes into a new wave into May. Then the Taurus energy moves more into Gemini during May. Mercury goes into Gemini on the 4th. Venus goes into Gemini on the 9th. The Sun goes into Gemini on the 20th.
Oh, that's so funny.
May.
I'm sitting here cracking up because you just said May 9th, and that is when the second string of 10 portal days happen?
More portal days?
Yeah, because we're in the middle of the Tzolk'in calendar, and in the middle of it, there's pretty much 2 strings of 10 portal days. So on the 9th, May 9th, we start the second 10-day string in that seed wave. And so it's pretty intense time. I mean, it can be great if you're in a great mood, but tell us a little bit more about what's happening May 9th.
Well, there's more Gemini energy, which is these options, things opening up. Now, when we get into May, we're starting into eclipse season as well.
Oh.
So I'll get into that in a minute. But we have a new moon on May 11th, and the new moon on May 11th, and that is a Taurus new moon. So there's more activity there in that moon cycle about manifestation and hands on the ground. But by then, even on that full moon, both Venus and Mercury have moved into Gemini, and they're lining up with the destiny line. The destiny line, which is when eclipses happen. This is not yet an eclipse on that new moon of May 11th. But the Venus and the Mercury are with the north node of the moon. The north node and the south node are where the path of the moon crosses the path of the sun on either side of the sky. It's called a line of destiny because it's a calling between what was and what will be. So it's a kind of time shifter. And so the Gemini is the north node. It's what we need to understand more fully. So this is the exploring opportunities, entertaining different ideas than we've thought before. This can be a real challenge to some of our belief systems. Oh, I saw a bumper sticker on a car yesterday that said, "Don't believe everything you think." And I loved it. I thought that is so good. Of course, we can go the other way with "don't think everything you believe," but, but I love that because that's part of the challenge at the moment. We believe, we have a philosophy of life and we're kind of in it, and we're almost like horses with blinders on. We're not seeing other options and possibilities that are much more interesting and opening and inclusive and consciousness shifting. So we need to look at, different ideas, different teachings, like what? It's like, be curious, be open-minded, listen to different ideas and just see where they start kind of vibing, where they start kind of ringing that bell a little bit, and where the crystals and the, start shimmering a bit in your head. So this is some new stuff coming along that it's like, wow, this is like, I never would have thought this. And that's the point. You never would have thought it because it's really new.
Okay, so let's do it.
That's the new moon on May 11th. And then as we go through May, the 13th of May is certainly notable because that's the day that Jupiter has been in Aquarius all year, but it just puts a toe into the sign of Pisces. Jupiter's going to go into Pisces, the next sign for it, just for a couple of months. From the 13th of May through July, Jupiter is in Pisces, and that's really going to change the feel of things, the tone of things quite extraordinarily. This is one of Jupiter's best signs, and this is like brings us into kind of the realm of compassion and grace and devotion and, feeling how we're all in this together, and anyone who's suffering, I feel it too. And the kindness and the forgiveness and compassion. That energy is just going to sweep through in waves for those couple of months before it goes back into Aquarius. And then we're going to be in that vibe again a good deal of next year, 2022. So that's May 13th. And on May 23rd, Saturn goes retrograde. Saturn's like, okay, I'm in Aquarius. That's as far as we're getting right now. we're just like, okay, let's just stop here and see where we're at. Let those waves of compassion roll in, feel out the energy, just calm down, take two. And it's going to be right at the standing point for most of May and all of June up to solstice. And here's an image that goes with what Saturn is suggesting here. A train entering a tunnel. So we're just stopping and we're going through the tunnel. It's a little hard to see where you're going, right? When we're in a tunnel. But it's kind of like, I'm not going to let the mountain stop me. I'm moving through a tunnel here. I'm moving ahead. I'm being persistent. I can't quite see where I'm going, but I'm going to keep going carefully and slowly. So that's Saturn going retrograde to the fall, I believe. So there's that. So it's as far as we're going to get to a certain point, and then we have to consolidate where we're at, how we're thinking about things, what's going on in the larger world. We're going back over things. We can't see where we're heading, so we're just saying, where have we been? What have we learned? What has shifted? Which a lot. We're going to be able to say a lot. and kind of just, kind of put it in perspective. That's one of the best things of Aquarius. We get perspective. And so that's Saturn. And then we have an eclipse, the first eclipse. We have a total lunar eclipse on May 26th. And that eclipse, so we have the sun in Gemini by then, and the moon in Sagittarius. And when an eclipse is total, that means the full moon is really close to those nodes of the moon, the destiny line. So this is a shift point in our collective consciousness that can be a bit mind-blowing, because we've been having all these Gemini, these different points of view, and there are going to be certain things that will blow your belief systems right out of the water. It's like, whoa, this is not quite how I was seeing it. And that can be a bit shocking for people. Mm-hmm. So it's like, like all this new information. Some people say, I don't want any more pieces to the puzzle. I've got my puzzle of life together, and that's how it is for me. But when new pieces come along, like, what do you have to do? You have to rearrange your puzzle. And maybe you need to throw the whole thing out because it's not going to be a square puzzle anymore. It's going to be a circular puzzle, something like that, So that's the full moon, a total eclipse of the moon, special day. That's the eclipse on May 26th. And right after that eclipse, Venus and Mercury meet up in Gemini. And Mercury is the ruler of Gemini, and on a regular level, but on an esoteric, like hidden level, Venus rules Gemini. So, when Gemini can have like those polarities and opposite points of view, like two sides of the coin, Mercury can entertain that one and then the other and then the one and then the other. But Venus has a magnetic energy that can bring those two sides together. And in fact, can align the higher mind with the lower mind in a way that makes sense.
That's awesome. And it's also a portal day. It's a nine serpent portal day.
Ah. Yeah, so this really lines up thinking and feeling. And that's what we need to get into, our feelings, because if we're having trouble with all the information coming in, we need to just get into our feelings and just kind of feel things out. And like, how does this resonate with me? How does that resonate with me? Because not all the information that's out there is actually true or factual, but some of it is, so the reality has been so fluid lately.
And some of it, part of it's true, and then part of it's not. It's amazing. Yes. People are so creative these days.
Yeah. Well, and that goes back to whatever was happening during that monkey wave. So Venus and Mercury meet up in a sign that's strong for both of them. And Mercury says, I'm going retrograde. The same day, Mercury goes retrograde. So it's going to stay in Gemini longer. it's like, okay, I've got a lot to think about here. I've got a lot to rearrange in my head. So Mercury's going retrograde all the way through solstice.
Wow.
In Gemini, its own sign. So it's going to be in Gemini for an extra long time, from early May all the way in, say, halfway through July. So that's the Mercury retrograde factor.
So even when it goes direct, it's still going to be in Gemini all the way through July.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And Mercury's sign itself is Gemini.
Yes, that's one of the signs it rules. Yep. So it's chattery there. You know, it's
going in a couple directions, different directions.
It's got a lot of things going on, juggling a lot of balls. It's multitasking. It's like, and then, you know, we need to calm down about that. It's just like, how do you settle your mind down? And this is like, get into your feelings, breathe into your body. Don't get all, you know, whacked out, you know. This is just, you know, good time to meditate. And there's going to be a lot of confusing things going on then. So better to go inward. And that's what Mercury invites us into when it's retrograde. Go inward, you know, go in. Don't pay attention to everything's out there. You know what you know, and go inside and find that out. And calm down your mind and get to what's essential and true and beautiful and for you.
Lovely.
So, yeah, so that takes us into June then. And we've got a new moon in June with planets on the 10th in Gemini. And this is another eclipse. This is an annular solar eclipse, which means that the moon doesn't completely cover the face of the sun because it's a little farther away and the moon is a little smaller. It would be a total eclipse, but the moon is a little too far away for the disk of the moon to cover the face of the sun. So we'll see a ring of fire of the sun around that dark disk of the moon. And this is one of my favorite kinds of eclipses, the ring of fire eclipse. And this is on June 10th. And so this is, again, it's close to the nodes of the moon, which are impacting our collective destiny. And it's like continuing with the Mercury retrograde at that point. And so it's like, how are we thinking about things? And there's a special aspect of that eclipse that is that Mercury is exactly halfway through its retrograde cycle. And from our point of view, Mercury is right in front of the sun. So Mercury is like haloed by that ring of fire eclipse. And it's like instant perception. It's we know what we know. It's like thought isn't even, it's more experience. Experience overtakes thought.
Mm.
So that perception can be immediate. Mm. So that's quite an awesome eclipse that can affect what we're thinking. And this is so important because what words we use to think and talk to ourselves and how we talk to other people, we really need to be very vigilant in our language and say what we mean to say.
Mm. Mm-hmm. So that day is a 9-mirror day in a dog wave. So it's got that full realization and then this reflection energy of perception. It makes me think of that Mercury in between the moon and the sun. That's kind of a wild image.
Yeah, I think you're right, because there would be moon is closer to us, then Mercury, and then the sun.
It's like a Mercury sandwich.
Yes, it is, in fact. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I was thinking Mercury would need to be in between the full moon and the sun. Mm. But no, you're right. It's right in between there. That's very interesting because, their moon can be the filter of that sort of is what we're perceiving, and then we translate that into words. And there's something going on with the filter that is creating more clear impressions. And we can be freed more from habitual ways of thinking.
All right. Sounds like that's a good thing.
Yeah. So then on June 14th, we have the second exact Saturn square Uranus that we talked about right at the beginning. So again,
that was a doozy. That first one was a doozy, I got to say.
It was a doozy. This one, Saturn is still at 13 degrees, 13 plus. So, and that means Uranus is at 13 plus Taurus. So we've still got Saturn going through the tunnel at that point. But it's just about out of the tunnel on that, just about out of the tunnel. Another couple of days, it's out of the tunnel. Uranus says, okay, we're almost out of the tunnel. And what is Uranus doing? Uranus, the image for Uranus is children, on the beach, children play while shellfish grope on the edge of the water. Now that's interesting. So I go with Linda Hill, who is the astrological queen of Sabian symbols. So let me just repeat this. On the beach, children play while shellfish grope on the edge of the water. So part of how she interpreted that was playful, the playing of the children, and pay attention to your own affairs and let other people go about their business. And I think that's quite excellent advice, especially when Mercury is still retrograde.
Yes.
So that's like, pay attention to what's going on inside you, let other people do their thing. But this is, you're getting in touch with something inside yourself. And then we get to solstice on the 20th of June. And it is on a Sunday, I believe. And it's Father's Day, just as a, kind of point of reference. But also on that very same day, Jupiter, that's been in Pisces for some weeks, stops and goes retrograde. It's still in Pisces, but it's stopping and turning back. It just, it just got so far onto the shore and it's like retreating. So it's that's a shift on solstice. And Mercury goes forward 2 days later on June 22nd. So that's another turnaround. And then on the 24th, we have what we might call the solstice full moon, which is at 4 degrees of Cancer and Capricorn. So that's solstice is close to the full moon.
So we get a little extended holiday there.
Yeah, well, definitely. If a full moon's that close.
We get to do like a 4-day solstice energy.
Yeah, I'm for that. Because the sun is standing still, and it stands still apparently for 5 days. So we could give it a 5-day window there.
Okay, let's do it.
So the full moon is conjunct one of these new planetoids in the far solar system that I've been so excited to study. And the one that full moon, that's that June solstice full moon has going with it is Quaoar. Quaoar. Quaoar is the creator deity of the Tongva people who live in the Los Angeles area and have for thousands of years. And their creator deity is Quaoar, who sang and danced the creation into being. So when we're breathing more deeply into our bodies and making every cell alive at the quantum level, and when we're using our voice as part of our physical instrument to tone things up, this creates. And, when you say in the prayer that you do, the Mother, Father, God, and the Creator, that's what Quaoar first created was Mother God and Father God. And because Quaoar is just like the creative energy, and it sings and dances, it moves us to celebrate.
Yes.
Life. And that's creation.
Mm-hmm. So we're going to have a big dance party in June. around solstice. We're just going to sing and dance and celebrate for 5 straight days.
Let's dance around the fire.
Okay.
Yeah, let's raise our voices. And there's some psalm in the Bible that's about raising your voice and joy to the Lord or something. I should look that up, but it's a beautiful one to remember. What does the Tzolk'in say about the solstice day?
It's a 6-star night day. So balancing, shining our little energy and creating a new story.
Oh, that's great.
And it's in the moon of integration. So we're integrating the 12 months of the year. We're about a month away from the new year in the Tzolk'in calendar. So, and the next day, the 21st, is another portal day. It's a 7-moon night portal day. So,
is there another portal day coming up?
Yep, on that full moon you were just talking about.
Yay!
It's so fun how it lines up with these little portals, and that's going to be a 10 human night. So it's a whole new way of manifesting, becoming, relating to our matured self as a new human with a new story, with a super big portal energy.
Oh, I love that you said the new story, because that's part of what the nodes of the moon, the destiny line, are about. It's like there's new voices in the story. There's a new storyline emerging. The Sagittarius is a storyteller sign, and we're reviving that story. We're making it a new story. We're writing a new book, in fact.
That's awesome, because this night wave that we're talking about in here is like, it's home. It's a new story. It's a dream. What's your new dream? What's your new story?
Yes.
What are you dreaming?
Yes.
What are you dreaming into being? What are you walking into life as that new, powerful, potent human? Poof.
Yeah, that capital B, capital D, big dream is part of what we are reimagining this year together.
Oh, that's so great. So it sounds like another exciting run here.
Oh, yeah, never a dull moment on Earth right now.
No, I wonder what kind of beliefs, what little downloads we could do. I don't know. I think we just need maybe a little download to remember to breathe and get into our bodies and celebrate each moment.
That's what I'm feeling like.
Right?
That's what I'm feeling like. Let's just keep breathing in and breathing out.
And seeing the life that's all around us and celebrating it without getting caught up and so extremely attached to all these different thoughts and ideas.
Excellent way to say it.
Would you like to know what
we just talked about?
Yeah. Would you like to know what that feels like? To just really go into your breath all the way down into the earth, feeling that energy of excitement, transmuting any kind of stress into excitement and breath and celebration of life. Remembering to breathe, remembering to see the beauty all around you. As the earth is going to go into spring. We're going into spring. It's going to start blooming, and we're going to start growing things out of the earth and being able to celebrate that life, our new dreams, our new way of being together and on this earth, celebrating. Would you like to know what that feels like in every cell of your body? That was the longest download I ever thought of my life. You just say heaven, yes.
Yes.
Excellent. You know, I have the blessing of being able to work with a lot of super blessed people. So I tell people, just surrender into the beauty that you've created. Fully celebrate it. Fully indulge yourself in being there. Because then you go into that energy and you're full on celebration, and it can ripple out into the world. And so everybody can benefit of that. But if you have it right before you and you're not in really celebrating and going into it, then who's going to do that if you aren't doing that?
We want to embody and in a full way now, so that we need to express that. We need to engage with the creative life force that we see all around us, and the change of the seasons and the movement of the stars and all the creatures, and from large and small, and life is joy. Let's enjoy it while we're here. We're here for a reason. We're here for a purpose. And we're here now at an extraordinary time.
So let's enjoy it. How about that? How about would you like a download of making sure that you know what joy feels like and the highest vibration of the essence of that energy in every cell of your body and being able to live your day-to-day life in that joy? If you like that, you just say heaven yes.
Heaven yes.
And that it's safe for you to enjoy your life and that you remember to say heaven yes. If you like that out there.
Heaven yes.
Joy to the world. That's what you were saying. Joy to the world. Yes, that's right. You can just send that joy all around the globe. Poof, poof, poof. All right. Beautiful. Thank you so much for your total amazing wisdom and all this amazing information in your blessed self, Kelley. Oh, and that you bring the Sulkin in and we're seeing all those resonances and how the energy is all coming together and in a way that's just blessed be. Oh, I love what you're up to in the world, and I know how much the planet needs people just like you. Thank you so much, Kelley. You enjoy too. I'm glad I'm in this world with you and all of the listeners here. Woohoo! Let's leave with our light through these power portals. Light is coming in. Light is coming in from all directions. Yay. We get to surf it, surf all those extra particles, right? Poof. Thank you, all these listeners leading with light.
You've been listening to Leading with Light. Be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode. And while you're at it, please leave a rating and review, and be sure to share it with your friends. Tune in every Tuesday for more exciting ways to help you pop into true divine connection and clarity, live in the energy of limitless possibilities, and delight in the love playground. Get your magic on and make this world a happier place. Yo.